Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon and this is our playthrough of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader on Grim Darkness mode. We're still on Grim Darkness mode and I am very happy about that. We're on Act 2. We are currently on Footfall. We've done a fair bit of the introductory of Footfall, so to say. We've gone and hunted. I tell you. We've gone and hunted a horrible gang of miscreants. They're all dead. Gone and hunted and destroyed a heretical sect. They're no longer really bothering the station. So now we are going to the Amasekas.
My house would be proud of me.
Ooh, what a way to start. Let's go and do a quick level up. Now, we have a whole new set of skills. Whenever prey is killed, all enemies in a 10-cell radius around the prey have their agility reduced by 5 times. Prey's difficulty tier 4, 2 rounds. Ooh, I like that one. Whenever an enemy is killed by a critical hit scored by the bounty hunter or their ally, the bounty hunter gains 2 times the enemy's difficulty tier percentage damage for 2 rounds. Maybe. Also, a critical hit, the target's armor is reduced by 6 plus that percentage until the end of combat. Stacks. Love it. Whenever an ally kills prey, the bounty hunter gains half the bonuses gained by hunt down the prey. That's not bad either. Nice. Gets an automatic dodge. Whenever the bounty hunter hits an enemy with an attack, they inflict the catch effect on that enemy. At the start of the bounty hunter's turn, this target suffers stacking. Oh dear lord. So, like, a potential 14% penalty to the armor and dodge. Okay. It comes off pretty easily. If claim the bounty kills an enemy, the bounty hunter's next attack this turn will always score a critical hit. I like that. If I'm also shooting prey, then claim the bounty is also a guaranteed critical hit, I believe. Whenever the bounty hunter kills an enemy with a critical hit, all allies in a 7-cell radius around the target gain percentage critical hit chance until the end of combat stacks. I like that too. Whenever the bounty hunter scores a critical hit for the first time in a round, they gain target difficulty tier movement points. I can live with that too. Whenever the bounty hunter kills an enemy whose difficulty tier is 4 or higher, the bounty hunter immediately reloads their weapon and attacks the closest enemy in their line of sight. This attack gains 50% over penetration, but deals only 20%. Nah. Call the bold. I don't know if we're going to be getting that. The bounty hunter's first critical hit in a round grants their allies a stacking perception bonus divided by 3. So that'd be a whole 2-ish if it rounds up. So potential 4% bonus to armor penetration until the end of combat. Once a character with this bonus reloads, the bonus is removed. Yeah. When the bounty hunter performs a single shot attack on an immobilized or stunned target, this attack refunds its cost and does not count for the attack. Ooh. Once per round, because we do stun people with our Open the Eye ability for Cass. If the bounty hunter kills a prey whose difficulty is 4 or higher, the bounty hunter gains 2 AP. The thing is, with these kind of things, difficulty tier 4 or higher, we're kind of getting bosses and sub-bosses. So, I mean, yeah, we will kind of get a few of them, but generally, we're not going to be killing things on that high of a level. Don't know if we'll be getting raid. Maybe. Bounty hunter's allies gain 8% critical hit chance against enemies affected with 1 or more of the following effects: prey, trailed, or immobilized. Sure. Gonna be hitting a lot of people with prey, and plus we've got 3 people that can hit a prey. Whenever prey, and things like this as well. Obviously, I only have to put it on 1 of my 3 soldiers. Whenever prey deals damage to the bounty hunter's allies, bounty hunter gains prey's difficulty of percentage damage against that prey for 2 rounds. Whenever prey that is not being trailed is killed by an ally, the bounty hunter gains an extra turn. With half of their MP and AP, the bounty hunter cannot attack during this extra turn. Maybe later on, I wouldn't really be able to do much with an extra turn that I can't attack with, especially on CC at the moment. Hot on the Trail now has an unlimited range and reduces the target's armor by minus 15% for 2 rounds. Not with... probably not going to happen too much. Sorry, Trail and Shatter will definitely be turning up on Adira. Okay, so that's all of the extras. Have a quick double check with them. I do quite like the 5% armor penetration just as a quick, easy first choice. Claim and Maim. Next attack always a critical hit. That's also really good as well. Obviously, the two of them put together is fantastic. So obviously, if I can guarantee myself critical hits and then I get a 5% armor penetration until the end of combat for every critical hit, you know, that's pretty good. So we're going to go and get that one first. Whoops. We, for some reason, went back to the old person. So... 5% armor penetration. See, I don't know if she technically needs that. Although, does that also account for her Psycho abilities? I'd have to double check that. I mean, getting extra damage again, it doesn't say that this is just for weapons. Reduces target's armor. Half the bonuses. Draw. Probably won't get catch or claim and maim. That one does stack as well. Critical hit for the first time around, they gain movement point. Maybe, probably not actually. For a higher. Grants our allies a stacking bonus to armor penetration to the end of combat. When the bounty hunter performs a single shot, that's not going to happen either. If I use difficulty 4 higher, the bounty... Yeah, I mean, maybe? Bounty hunter has an 8% critical hit chance. Yeah, of course. Whenever prey deals damage to the bounty hunter's ally, the bounty hunter gains... Yeah, maybe. Whenever prey that has not been trailed is killed by an ally, the bounty hunter gets... She would definitely benefit from that. Hot on the Trail now has unlimited range and reduces the target's armor by minus 15% for 2 rounds. Yeah. Probably. I'm gonna give her Savor the Kill to start with. Get her those extra turns. And then of course, pretty much same ones. Let's go a critical hit. Anti-hunter scores critical hit, the armor is reduced. Ally kills. Draw. Chase. Enemy whose difficulty is 4 or higher. Critical hit in a round grants their allies a stacking bonus. Maybe not Hunter's Ambush on Argenta because she's not really going to be doing that many single shots. It's either going to be an area attack or, and I suddenly forget the word, but the multi-attack with her bolter. Additional to P. Main potential. Each enemy affected by piercing shot has their armor reduced by minus 5% until the end of combat. Nice. I'm not going to attempt to put pounce on her. It's killed by an extra ally. I mean, maybe. And she would actually love the extra MP as well. So let's... And if I'd actually thought about it, I would have made sure all three of these synergized, really. Let us... Now let's go up here. Let's get one of the... Get armor penetration. Now we're going to see a brand new set of skills. If there are more enemies and allies in the front line, all allies in the area gain 7% to parry and dodge. More allies and enemies in the front line, all allies in the area gain 7% to damage. Maybe. Using a stratagem on a frontline area grants allies in the area 20% increased dodge against other allies' attacks. You know, if we scroll down, yeah, we know what we're doing. Start getting plus perception. Whenever an enemy fails resistant test against the navigator power, attacks against them gain 32% critical hit chance. That wants to get a critical hit. Yeah, if we come down here, we have things like it will not die, or bonuses to fellowship perception and willpower. What is this? This is based on willpower again, isn't it? Yes. Enemy the navigator hit has a line of sight, has its dodge and hit chance reduced by -6. I'm actually going to get ebb and flow, get an additional action point on every even turn. Talents available. So I mean, if we come to common talents, okay, that's where we just have these. And what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quite a few. There aren't that many that are just common talents. I mean, only 3 by the quick looks of things. Yeah, that'll be fine. I can use some of my other talent things to go and get let's gain the ability to reposition the combat tactics area they are currently in, cost of 1 AP. Down in the rear area gains 7% critical hit chance. There are enemies in a 5-star radius around them. Bad. Stratagem to gain a stack of the strategy perfection effect. 6 stacks of strategy perfection. Next stratagem applies benefits of all stratagems known by the grand strategist. Then all stacks are removed. Wow. Being a stratagem in a combat tactics area allows a grand strategist to use all officer abilities on allies in the area regardless of distance. Actually not bad. Is in the same combat tactics area with the grand strategist, suffer a -7% penalty to dodge and parry. Oh, enemies in the same combat. I was like, why would I have to use that? That's terrible. But it's enemies. Allies in the area 7% increased critical hit chance against enemies that are protected from cover. Maybe. Allies, including Grand Strategist, in the same combat tactics area with the Grand Strategist, gain 4 perception and agility. Maybe. Oh, that's not bad. That'll be good for front line. Stratagem on a frontline area grants allies in the area plus 20% increased charge against other allies' attacks. Really be too much of a problem, to be honest. That one. Yeah, so we'll get a few for the front line, maybe. For now, we'll get what we've got. Executioner. When an enemy suffers damage from damage over time effect inflicted by the Executioner for the first time in combat, this damage is increased by 100%. The enemy suffering from any of the Executioner's damage over time effects is suffering from bleeding, burning, including the effect inflicted by a pyromancer or a navigator, and toxin, including the effects inflicted by a biomancer at the same time. All of these damage over time effects deal plus 30% more damage to the enemy. Maximum number of wounds for the Executioner depends on their Medicae instead of toughness. Ooh la la, why did you not say such beautiful things? It's only just higher. Well, yeah, I mean, I've only given an extra plus 10 to toughness. But it is slightly higher. Okay, well, that's interesting. So I'd want to go back now and respec. Put that 10 toughness onto something else. If I was to go and get Anatomy Expert. At the start of each round, all enemies suffering from any damage over time effects inflicted by the Executioner have their incoming damage over time from any source increased by 20% stacks. That's far too much. While moving, all bleeding enemies leave a bloody trail on the ground, which remains for 1 round. Moving through these bloodstained cells costs the Executioner 0 MP. Yes. If an enemy suffering from toxin inflicted by the Executioner dies, all enemies in a 2-star radius around the enemy suffer 3 levels of toxin. Not yet. When using Scourging Strikes, the Executioner's melee hits inflict 9 levels of bleeding on their targets instead of 6. Scourging Strikes? Don't know if I do have that, do I? I do. Yeah, quite possibly. All damage over time effects inflicted by the Executioner gain 20% critical hit chance. Interesting. This chance is increased by all bonuses to critical hit chance. First instance of damage dealt by the Executioner's damage over time effects in a round reduces the inflicted enemy's armor by minus 13% until the end of combat. But only once per enemy. Whenever the Executioner or their party members are suffering from any damage over time effects, these effects deal only 50% of their damage. Stacks multiplicatively. 50% damage if there was 1 Executioner with this talent in the party, 20% damage if there were 2 Executioners in this party. I don't want to attempt to work out what 12.5, I think, if there's 3. Do we just keep halving? I think we do. That's quite nice. Do hit a bit of damage over time. When pushing an enemy, the Executioner also deals... Probably not going to be pushing too many people. Whenever an enemy in a 4-star radius around the Executioner suffers damage from a damage over time effect, the Executioner regains 2 wounds. Love it. At the start of their turn, an enemy suffering from burning inflicted by the Executioner must make a willpower resistance test. If failed, burning is removed and the enemy falls prone. Only I went dogmatic with a Executioner. That would have been fantastic because you set people on fire naturally as a dogmatic character. The Executioner deals 5% more damage to a target for each type of damage over time effect inflicted on that target. Maybe? I mean, I only really do bleeding at the moment. If I get Heinrich's back and start maybe pushing the Biomancy effect, or maybe if I get someone that has some kind of needle weapons, maybe... The Executioner's armor is increased by 7%. Okay. That seems quite good. The damage dealt by the Executioner's damage over time effects increased by 3% for every 10% penalty to armor suffered. Too much. The Executioner used Reckless Abandon in the previous round, and by the start of their turn still has temporary wounds. They are healed for plus 8 wounds. What's Reckless Abandon? Yes. Like it. Whenever a single instance of damage from any of the Executioner's damage over time effects deals damage equal to or more than 10% of the enemy's maximum wounds, that enemy gets 1 stack of Fatigued. Enemies suffer from any damage over time effect inflicted by the executioner also suffer -8 penalty to the resistance tests. Whenever an enemy suffering from any of the executioner's damage over time effects dodges the executioner's attack, all damage over time effects currently inflicted on that enemy now deal an additional 10% damage stacks. Well, I don't intend for them to dodge, so the executioner gains +12 bonus to Law Xenos. No. That's a bit of a weird one for me. So I suppose depending on who you've chosen to go as an executioner, but why would they overly have high levels of intelligence? I don't pay them to be smart, I pay them to chop people up. Gains 8 temporary wounds, 7%. Each type, no, that's probably a later one. Oh, I do the extra movement. Could be waited. I go for acute pain. And my Vanguard. 1 temporary wound, they gain 11% parry and armor. Sold. All enemies in 2-star radius around the Vanguard suffer 8% penalty to dodge against all attacks except the Vanguards. Was probably gives armor and parry by 1%. Critical hits deal -20% less damage to the Vanguard. All allies affected by any of the Vanguard's abilities gain 5% armor from 1 round. Probably not. 7% to parry against enemies that consider him a priority target. Make a willpower resistance test on a failed test. The Vanguard becomes his enemy's priority target. The start of the Vanguard's turn. Before the temporary wounds are lost, the Vanguard gains a number of temporary wounds strength for 1 round. For each enemy that considers Vanguard a priority target, its armor is increased by 5%. Defensive stance now has a -10% penalty to weapon skill for attacks of opportunity granted by this ability instead of -20. These attacks of opportunity deal an additional 6% damage. Maybe defensive comrade. Probably going to be on its own a lot. Nope. Once per round, whenever an enemy that considers Vanguard a priority target enters the strategy to the Vanguard, provokes an attack of opportunity. The Vanguard gains 7 resolve whilst at maximum stacks. No. Okay, so let's go for, I mean, they're all really good. We'll go for simply the one I clicked at the beginning. 11% parry and armor. If I've got 1 temporary wound, I near enough will always have 1 temporary wound. And let us, just out of curiosity, let's go to know my biography. We are currently level 2 adherent Iconoclast. Currently have 78 out of 200 to get votary. And so this currently gives us... So, the Rogue Trader and 2 random allies start the combat with temporary wounds equal to their own resolve. And in the first round of every combat, the Rogue Trader and their allies gain 2 plus Rogue Trader's Iconoclast rank, so that's 4 additional MP. That's actually really good. So we all start with additional 4 MP. At rank 3, we're going to go and get 30 less momentum when activating Heroic Act. That's actually going to be really good with some of the things I've potentially taken. Where, you know, every time I hit a Heroic Act, I get, say, stacking stats or etc, because now I should be hitting a lot more once I reach that. Once per battle, the Rogue Trader may choose an ally. Target ally may immediately use a Heroic Act without spending momentum. Not applicable to allies whose Heroic Act is on cooldown. One of the convictions... Oh, yes. Any attacks from allies that may hit other allies will be dodged if possible. Any allied ability that may target an ally and has a resistant test will be resisted by allies. Nice. So we are all a loving, friendly, happy family. Okay, and so with that beautiful level up, simply because we did a little...
There will be no peace in my wake.
Law of Imperium test. Anything over here you want to tell me about? Dang, over here you want to tell me about? No. A door that's stuck. Voice-ship adapted into a living space. From inside the building, clinking of glass and numerous voices can be heard. The Martyr's Endurance. Let's go have a look. Up the entrance we come.
Nice little spot. It's good to see folks enjoying themselves.
Tech use 35%.
Even the air in here feels nicer to breathe.
Let's actually come down here. Got some goods, and this is actually a dead end, so grab the goods. Hey guys, don't mind me just stealing your loot.
What lies beyond? How intriguing.
Found a little bit of goods back there. That's alright, we'll go grab those now. Waitress, workers, citizen, suspicious prowler. Oh, where'd that go? Goods. The citizens. Oh, a Medicaid check. I'm gonna go for that, 90%.
He withholds his favor.
Ah. He withholds his favor. Don't like that. Medicaid test failed on that 90% chance.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed.
RZA, thug, 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 and thug. Refugee, worker, some other people. Awareness, 100%. Oh, hello. Oh, by the throne, that's him, isn't it? The poor sap who got his tongue cut out by the Anvers. Somebody stop him? That's the one. I think he was from the Casablanca. Well, his troubles are over now. But they're not. He's still standing. Impressive. You don't see many people that put a gun to the bottom of their head and then keep standing. The upholstery of the dirty sofa moves slightly. A soft hissing can be distinctly heard from the depths of the furniture. Oh, nice. There are
The whispers told me a secret in my veins.
clearly... Oh, and we get a mastercrafted power ball. There are clearly something in that sofa waiting to say hello to people. Let's go and say hello to Ryza. Or Rizza. Oh, nothing as I walk in the room. That's interesting. There are goods in the vault. Yeah, our tech use is really low. Like I said, this is the only problem of not having Pascal with you. Woman looks to be in her 40s and she's surveying you with interest. Her right eye appears almost black against her dusty skin, while her left eye emits a greenish light filtered through the smudged lens of a prothesis. Her arms are tattooed all the way from the base of her shoulders to her knuckles. Looking for something specific you're buying or maybe selling? Don't be shy, just ask. Or Rizza knows all kinds of folks. My boys will fetch you anything your heart desires. Why, hello, overly killed. Hopefully you're up and still standing today. How are you doing? Let's see what you have to offer. Who are these people? Who am I dealing with? Ah, the Fellowship of the Void. A Navy swashbuckler's coat. This coat grants away a 10% parry reduction and +5 armor penetration for melee attacks. Take it. Take some medkits. Take some intoxicating elixir. Bayonet knife. When the wielder attacks with any ranged weapon in a one-tile area, that attack also inflicts bleeding. Probably not going to use it, but I'll take it anyway. Serrated greatsword. Not bad. Take that too. Now, if I bother to get to all the way to level 4, I could get a monofilament and pirate chainmail. Pirate chainmail is not bad as a medium armor, 50%. And we've got industrial hammers, auto pistols. What have we got that looks like it could really be worth it? As long as they have less than 50% wounds left. Once we hunt down the prey, whenever they kill a target marked as prey, they gain a stacking bonus from this ability once again. I've got needle pistols, swashbuckler cloak, where it has 2 melee weapons. Unfortunately, there's not really anyone going to fit into that. We don't have any Death World characters, unfortunately. Juice's Prime Pattern Shotgun. It's okay, it's nothing special. Grimoire of the Void. Psychic from over 15%. Okay. Poet's Grace. 25 to Commerce and 25 to Persuasion. That's actually really nice. We have a named Eldari weapon. Inalith. Carnage. We got a named axe as well. When people name their weapons, you know they're special. An ally under the effect of the wearer's bring it down ability successfully hits an enemy with an attack or target. So there are a few good things. Of the wearer's area attack damage at least 2 enemies within a 2-star radius from the wearer. The wearer gains the kick ability. Oh, yeah. There's one performs melee attack after a ranged attack. Yeah, again, not really going to happen too much with my playstyle. Okay. This is an amazing game, and I completely agree with you. A lot of Warhammer games, in my opinion, they kind of flop a little bit. Logic 65, we'll skip that for now. All these wonderful citizens simply enjoying their time. Gorde Skatov.
Oh yes, they all will see.
He has a name. Although I wish I were blind, then at least I wouldn't have seen it all. Like I was saying, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think a lot of Warhammer games kind of flop. There've been a few good ones, like, don't get me wrong, the first Dawn of War, loved it. This one, loved it. Space Marine 2 and Space Marine, loved them. But yeah, I know what you mean. We definitely need a few more like this, because Warhammer Universe is so big. And it wouldn't be, well, I say that, I don't take anything away from people. I'm not saying it wouldn't be hard to write a story game. Story games, especially good ones, need amazing writers. But in terms of having material to write with, I mean, how many Warhammer books are there? Could it be that someone actually wishes to keep me company? Not really. I was just wondering why you had a name. Allow me to introduce myself. Gorde Skatov, architectural historian. You look deeply despondent over something. What happened? Here I go again, pouring my heart out to have you disappeared in 10 minutes just like everyone else before you. But alright, here's the story of Gorde Skatov, the unluckiest historian in the Imperium. I was born 2 sectors away from here. My family was quite influential, which allowed me to dedicate myself to my great passion, the history of the Imperium architecture. I spent a number of years studying every scholarly work there was to find on this art, and then, once I had inherited my family's fortune, I traveled and documented and developed of architecture throughout thought on different worlds. Until one day, oh that accursed and blessed day, till one day I came into possession of something quite special. Here it is, my undoing. This is an authentic booklet titled Dwayne's Design, one of the thousands that were printed centuries ago in the time of Footfall's construction. What a curious read, please tell us more. Footfall's founder, Lord Parsimus, was obsessed with his creation's grand future. This booklet describes in detail what Footfall was meant to become upon its completion. Dozens of asteroids turned into glorious palaces and temples, massive bridges spanning the void itself, and the marvelous flying buttresses. The archivolts of the exterior arches and the elegant arrangement of balusters. And the interior. Holophorus 10 stories tall and more than a kilometer long. Cyclopean light tubes that caught the light of furry Bundus and use it to brighten the halls in the hearts of the asteroids. Stained glass windows and mosaics, bas-reliefs and statues. Adira blinks sleepily, barely suppressing a yawn, and starts to look around with bored expression. Keep listening. I apologize, I got carried away, but you must understand how deep an impression this booklet left on me when my young self picked it up. I simply couldn't think about anything other than Footfall. I was ready to give it my life just to see this incredible station. And of course, no matter how hard my friends and loved ones tried to dissuade me, I still gathered all my savings and set out on a journey. It is no easy feat to cross 2 sectors, especially for a common citizen, albeit one who has some resources at his disposal. I had to change one ship after another, at times being forced to stay on transfer worlds, waiting for a vessel headed in the right direction or for warp disturbances to subside. The voyage took me a total of 107 years in real space-time, of course. For me, it was much less than that, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 or 35. And then, after all those years, having spent all of my savings, I reached my dream. And what a disappointment. And what did I see? A dump in place of the exquisite portico. Metal ant hills clinging to the columns, the marble tiles pilfered by paupers used as cladding for their hovels. It's been a dozen years since I came here and I still haven't recovered from the shock. I had suspected that not everything from the booklet would exist in reality, but I never expected to see Footfall in such a sorry state. It is like stumbling upon the horrible decomposed corpse of your beautiful beloved. Wow, that's rough. The warp, like a shameless thief, is guilty of stealing the short span allotted to his servants, but what sense is there in spending half your life on such an enterprise, only to then lose your spirit and waste the remaining half on nothing at all? So then ink and paper can lie and cause pain. Does this mean that all I have ever read about will one day disappoint me with the ugliness of reality? But you're an architectural historian. Is what happened to Footfall not part of its history? Yes, Footfall's current appearance, slums fused together with the remains of majestic palaces, is a unique phenomenon. It would be curious to observe if other places have taken after it, thereby solidifying it as a new style of architecture, but if it still remains a local oddity. My word, you certainly know how to provide an unexpected perspective on things. You're welcome. Be that as it may, I just wanted to say thank you for hearing me out. Over the dozen years I have spent on Footfall, not one person has hung around long enough to listen to my story to the end. It's such a delight to have shared everything that's been weighing on my mind. I'm poor as a church mouse, but I still have something to offer you as a token of my appreciation. After studying the booklet thoroughly, I discovered something interesting. A ciphered message scattered throughout its pages, taking the form of a riddle. Described certain places of interest on Footfall. I believe it is the work of the booklet's creators. One of these riddles lead to something, a wondrous discovery. I will gladly share what I've been able to learn with you. Riddles. Have you not tried to make these discoveries? Of course. I have, of course, but I'm an old man who was blind in one eye and can barely move his legs. Never found anything, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to find. First location for the riddles isn't far from here. It's the bridge that was supposed to go through the center of the district and into the void towards the neighboring asteroid. Only a couple of its spans were built, and even those lie in ruins. Still, if the cache survived after all those years, it is there somewhere. Second location is the Lantern of the Great Cathedral. A lantern is a small tower on top of a dome. You've seen Footfall's atrium, haven't you? The whole atrium is just the nave of the former little cathedral. The Liege's entire so-called palace would have fit inside what was meant to be naught but a single room. The Great Cathedral, had it been built, would have been even bigger. But alas, its construction was just getting underway when Dwayne died and the work stopped. The lantern from its dome, however, had already been built and survived. It was brought inside the atrium and dubbed the Chapel of St. Drusus the Warrior. And that's all I know. I wish you luck in your search. Alright. We're trying to find some stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm generally... I don't generally... Well, I say that's a lie. I do quite often end up looking up stuff to do with Warhammer 40,000. But I read quite a few of the books. I've read, almost to my shame, the whole of the Warhammer 40,000 Horus Heresy series. That was that was a big read.
I just might. That's the second bottle you've downed.
Here's good old Jay Hedera. Let's go have a conversation. Oh, Hadari.
Falco sends his regards.
And what does that unholy scion of a Grox and a Brahan want from me this time? Oh, wait, I don't really care. My sole plans for tonight are drowning my grief in a sea of Amasak.
We'll give you grief, all right. Get out!
Don't think so, Ashmag. And tell Falco to come himself next time.
Dari, I am tired of your mess. Out! Get some sleep. We'll talk about settling up later.
Okti Shireen, light of my eyes. Can't you see my soul is full of sadness? Have you no heart at all? Let go of your material concerns and let me grieve in peace. Have we met somewhere before?
Everybody, Jay Hedari. The woman looks at you with the glassy eyes of a drunk, and you notice 2 empty bottles that have been keeping her company before you arrived. She looks completely out of place in this dingy, smoky bar. The fancy attire, the abundance of jewelry, the implants plated with precious metals. Her appearance not only screams wealth, but also audacity. For only an audacious person would flaunt their wealth in a place like this.
Greetings, Shireen. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Call me Cece.
Well then, here's to our meeting. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that you're someone special, since you've been granted an audience with the Liege of Footfall himself. It's always a pleasure to make the acquaintance of someone powerful. And the timing couldn't be better. Jai Haydari at your service. Professional trader, shrewd commercial broker, and, may he steal my tongue if I'm lying, the most honest dealer on footfall. Nonetheless, we all have our problems, and at times even one's many merits aren't enough to solve them. Perhaps it would be no trouble for a person with your kind of power and standing to assist someone with my kind of predicament.
What kind of cargo was stolen from you?
Goods of incredible rarity, Shireen. But it's not just that. 24 of my people lost their lives in the impenetrable emptiness of the void to acquire them. I cannot leave their families with nothing.
That's what's gonna happen. Logic test failed, damn it! What do you need help with?
You see, Shireen, there's one cardinal rule on footfall. Anything goes as long as it doesn't get in the way of business. I'm someone who's been able to exploit that rule to the fullest. And in recent years, I've hit it so big, I've become a speck of sand in someone's green eye. They used to throw small wrenches into my dealings here and there. Well, now they've decided to really put their backs into it. Some rats stolen my cargo and dragged it off to the seediest part of the Shadow Quarters. A crummy place even for connoisseurs of footfall's unique atmosphere. When I asked the Leech for protection, we had a mutual misunderstanding. I believe Vladimir, in a most lamentable fashion, has forgotten his duties as guardian of the downtrodden and ruined.
Yeah, she
So
looks
I'm
like
in
the
desperate
downtrodden.
need of a new one. And you, Shireen, fit the bill perfectly. All I need is for you to drop by one dark corner of Footfall Shadow Quarters and pound it into the thieves' heads that taking Haydari's property carries certain risks.
Commerce test succeeded. Jay appears to be a serious operator on Footfall. Lee's refusal to help means the loss of a potential ally. So Jay is encroaching on his turf. If Millennium is not responsible for the disappearance of Jay's cargo, he will certainly benefit greatly from it. I wish to ask you a few questions before I decide.
Ask as many as you wish, Shireen. Trust is the key to a successful endeavor.
You offer in terms of payment.
A fair deal, Shireen. If your heart desires, we'll split the recovered cargo 50-50. That will be fair. But if goods of incredible rarity do not interest you, then I'll make it worth your while with some bonds equal. Of course, I am aware that my personal means cannot compare to yours, Shireen. So I do not hope to impress you with money. But I can offer something else. My boundless knowledge. Surely you will appreciate the services of an expert on trading operations. Where I'm from, they call this kind of deal wisdom selling.
I'm starting to like her.
Your trade is heresy. Your every word and gesture reeks of vice. Vice is all you can peddle.
Commerce succeeded.
You truly know how to do business, Shireen. You demand payment before giving an answer because you're aware of the weakness of my position. I respect that. And I don't know if it's the alcohol talking or just a feeling I have, but I want to take that risk with you. True jewels are meant to be held in the hands of the worthiest, Shireen. Please, accept this humble gift.
10% hit chance and reduce dodge by minus 7% for... Okay. Alright, I'll help you.
May the Exalted One bless you and your progeny. Then here's what we'll do. We shouldn't be seen together before we make it to the safe house. I'll head there first. I'll take my own special route so I won't be spotted. Right. Here, that's where those ashmags are keeping the stolen cargo. Out the bar, over the bridge, and to the left. There in the depths you'll find a small courtyard, through which you can get to the place. I'll be waiting nearby. You can come when it suits you, but the sooner you do, the better. I'll see you then, Shireen.
Conversation. Now I believe... Welcome to the depths of Amicus, ma'am. What can Octaviana get you? Amasek Low, something more interesting. It can't be. Are you Sister Argenta? The Sister Argenta. The one who has the worst scum on Footfall shaking in their boots. The whole station is talking about you, and here you are in the flesh, our humble Amasekus. No more. I seek retribution against transgressors, not glory for myself. You there, you should know that if I see one dead body around here, I'll have you thrown out of my bar with a hole in your head. Your kind don't scare me, and I'm not about to let you ruin my business by leaving corpses all over the room. You being here is already making half my clients feel less thirsty. I've heard your threat. Do not fear. If I must kill someone here, you will not find the bodies. Ha! Give me the latest. This one might interest you. A tale I heard from a tipsy Voidborn from the cargo barge. They exited the warp halfway between Furibundus and the Aviorus system and came upon a shuttle wreck adrift. The shuttle was registered to the inevitable Triumph, a merchant ship that disappeared decades ago. She was bound for Footfall, her cargo holds brimming with valuable goods, but she never made it. If anything could all survive the shipwreck, it could be quite the lucky find. Here's another tidbit for you. Some poor sot was here bawling about how his crew tossed out a whole shipment of cargo along with trash, and it was his fault somehow. He hid the fact, and once they docked at Footfall, they immediately went on the run. No surprise there. Had they discovered his blunder, he would have been executed. I don't know what sort of cargo it was, but the ship he served on usually goes between Footfall and Winterscale's realm. He passes the 100 Dreams Crossroads and Langren's Belt. If you happen by that area, you might want to have a look whatever that idiot chucked overboard. That will do for now. One thing after another lately, I figured I was due for some time. Give me a splash of the local hooch, would you? How are things here on Footfall? As per usual, there's never a dull moment. Either someone's getting shot in the scroll, some rich guy's going on a safari to hunt commodores in the Shadow Quarters. Sure, the Liege makes sure that the local shenanigans don't get in the way of business on the station. What happens on the outskirts adds a little spice to our lives. We make do, but the real trouble is, with every passing day, it gets harder to find grub. I heard that some horrors are happening in the void outside Furibundus, and not all ships are making it here, and the Liege's old patrons don't seem to be in a hurry to help. Taking a toll on Vladium's authority, and if his authority wobbles too hard, he'll have plenty of people lining up to take his place. I'll be going. Some goods. Love some free goods. It's been packed in cargo. Right.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
So, go back to the Shadow Quarter. Yep, we want to go Shadow Quarter. So, the statue where Saint Drusus is, I think, will be one of the places where those original creators of Footfall hid some loot. We're going to see what else comes with what else. I didn't do this last time, so I don't actually have any idea where the loot is. I didn't get this rumor. It's a new one for me. So, let me quickly... I think one was potentially around here. Dumped cargo, cache of the former lantern. Footfall's Great Cathedral was never built. The turret that would have crowned its colossal dome is now located in the atrium where it serves as the chapel of St. Drusus. There may be an ancient cache inside. The destroyed bridge in the Shadow Quarters may contain a cache left by the builders of Footfall. So the destroyed bridge. Is that what this is?
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
I don't. Not 100% sure what the destroyed bridge is. Could this be a destroyed bridge? You know what I mean? Like, it could be a few things. Let's figure that one out. Dark hideout, warehouse. I believe that's where I need to go. So don't get me wrong, by having a good run around, which is pretty much what I'm going to end up doing. Oh, destroyed bridge by any chance? Nope, just a note from the bridge. Oh, the note only has this small fragment of text left. You're on the right path, Seeker. The other caches... Inevitable Triumph. Decades ago, a ship called the Inevitable Triumph went missing. Bang, if we go to cache in the old bridge. Okay. Looted by the denizens of the Shadow Quarters long ago. So I assume we'll probably get a similar thing from the other cache. Maybe with them put together, we'll get notes to where the secrets are. The secret is the glory of Footfall itself. Probably not. We'll probably actually get something out of it, but we'll see. Container is sealed shut on all sides. You notice remnants of metallic tags that have been cut.
There will be no peace in my wake. What curiosity unveils itself before me?
Stuff. Green, I'm here. What a joy it is to see you. Please find. Oh, that took a while to start. Please follow me. Can I go around? No, I can't, but there's some goods. Grab those whilst we're here.
Lord Captain, do you think this enterprise is wise? I wouldn't be surprised if this all turns out to be a trap.
If this all turns out to be a trap...
This place reminds me of the maintenance modules on Urak 5. All the colors are so grubby.
If this turns out to be a trap, let's just say I won't be the one dying.
Another annoyance.
Thug, servitor, combat servitor, bandit hitman, servitor, thug, 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 combat, thug, bandit hitman. Oh, back here we have bandit specialist, armored bandit, and armored bandit. 3, 5, 8, 10, 13. Okay, now, oh, there's one in the back, 14. I was about to say, I probably can't count, but also I think I'm missing one. Okay, so cover that explodes, cover that explodes, cover that doesn't explode. So I'm going to guess toxin, explosives, and inert barrel. Right. That being the case, let us... Does Cass get to go first as always? Yes, she does. Oh, but then Kibala, CC, Jay, Tora, that thug who will probably be dead, Argenta, and Jay's assistant. So I'm actually going to go and take Cass up there. Kibala can... No, that's a dead end going around the back. I'm just literally going to go and stick over there. CC. Get yourself tucked in there. Stuff tucked in there for now. Genta. Can we technically... Well, we can technically walk through this thing, which is interesting. Chuck yourself in there, then. And you know, Abelard, yep, just kind of stay there. Alright, then. Let's see how many things we can kill in one attack.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Not only that, we got rid of most of the barrels.
I am a navigator, not a servant. It's the fury of House or
And most of the cover available for everybody. Right, so we killed 4 people. Bandit Hitman has been... This toxic substance ruthlessly corrodes any armor it touches. And I imagine we have a few people that are stunned as well. Stunned. Are you stunned as well? No, you're not stunned. I'm impressed. We've got 3 people stunned here. A stunned combat servitor back there. A stunned bandit hitman. So we've got 5 stunned people and 4 dead people. That's yeah, that's a pretty good start. Let us just go and grab... Go and chuck that in that space there.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
That'll do for now. Kibala! Bandit specialist. 2 armored bandits. Just start with a nice bit of death from above.
Fortune smiles on us, an ill omen.
Should have done this from the start.
There is only death, yours or mine.
Let us.
As the tenets demand, the shadows will.
Oh, and a parry. I actually think I might not end up killing these guys.
Killing brings me no pleasure.
There's a lie. If I ended up getting my kill.
As honor ordains.
Let's jump in next to this bandit specialist. They look like they're actually holding a shotgun, which means they might not have to run away to get themselves killed. But Kibalo will be fine in there. Let us. So you decided not to be stunned, and the combat servitor has decided not to be stunned as well. Let's start. Oh, I can't see a lot of people. Can't see the guys on my left. So, mark the combat servitor.
Let's see.
Alright, alright, alright. Let's. Mark the bandit hitman as well.
Oh, a genius at work.
Oh, didn't kill. Did not kill.
Huh.
Oh, definitely hit. Definitely hit. And I don't know if a trench will actually technically do anything because that
This
uses my last
battlefield
action
air is
point.
good for my lungs.
I don't know why.
A wicked thought. Fate claims another one.
I was gonna say I don't know why I'm getting an extra attack. Actually, I probably do.
Schemes within. Another one is shattered.
Continue to destroy people. These two are marked as
But
prey.
of course.
Mark the other three as prey. So much prey going around. Then... Alright, we can't do any attacks with this extra go. Which... If you're not stunned, that's sensory deprivation. Then let's... Give Argenta a little boost in skills. Gonna mark this servitor
Was that you?
has trailed.
Or
Oh, whoops.
Scared yet?
I think I skipped an extra go or something. I don't know. There are so many extra goes going on right now. It's getting a little bit mental.
I'll do
Over
it.
penetration,
Faith without deeds is worthless.
extra bullets.
Doubt is for the weak.
Wow, people just did not want to die, huh?
High momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it
Will made manifest.
on Argenta.
I'll do it.
Okay, so Adira just gets another go.
on it.
Go and lower this guy's stats. To potentially get another go, which... yeah, that actually... All the extra goes on an operative is not actually as useful as you'd potentially think.
As the Emperor commands.
The mad cackles.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
What? Give me a critical hit, will ya?
Time to slaughter someone.
I know, but they're all melee. They're all going to run in there and just get in the way and probably die. Dodged. Beautifully dodged, I'd like to add. Lad, Everlad, Everlad. We're going to charge against this guy. We're going to go reckless. And we're going to attack him again.
Reduced to dust.
Dead. What am I looking at? This isn't... I don't think this is Adira's... Oh, is it? Is this Adira's go? I don't get it. We haven't got any AP, though. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if this is Adira's go. I don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't know. There's been so many turns happening. That I'm mostly just confused. I have no idea what's her turn. No, this is her go. Okay.
But of course. Farewell.
And yep, that one also dropped dead from the transferred transferred damage. Forewarning. Let's attempt to save Tora. Did you know? Okay, Jay's assistance. Ah, that would have been from the combat servitors hit. Jay's assistance almost dead. Or you've probably got like no health either. No, you've only got 19 health. Oh, this Jay's assistance pretty burly. They're still standing.
High momentum.
So what have we got left? 2 people. Right. Come to here. Come to here. Let's... And cool, we can get Kibler in that.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
And then she can
Fail. Come. The other side awaits.
annihilate him. And we can hopefully
If I may,
not kill him.
isn't this a job for
There you go, dead. What a mess. Thank the phone we didn't come here with just the 3 of us. Get up and get moving, Core. We need to open the passage into the tunnels and let our guys in. Jay, on your signal. And can we, like, get rid of this toxic waste now? 2, 3, 5. Thank the Exalted One. Those Ashmites didn't have time to make off with anything yet. Give me 2 minutes, Shireen. I'll send the coordinates to my loyal crew who will deliver my property somewhere safe. And done. We're good. Now how about we relocate to a more pleasant and private space to discuss the detail of our deal, specifically payment for your efforts. Let's go. Many footsteps behind you. Vladium's agent. Stop right there in the name of the Liege. Your Excellency, please forgive my vehemence, most noble Cece. I never expected to encounter such eminent persons in this corner of Footfall. Most noble Excellency. I am Vladium Tokara's personal agent. I came here to remove the criminal circulation, a shipment, the distribution of which is banned in the lands of Footfall. Horrendous Xeno heresy that has been fraudulently delivered to a bastion of the Holy Imperium. I do not doubt for a moment, most noble Cece, that your presence here is merely a misunderstanding brought about by another's manipulations. It is too great a coincidence that the Legion's representative should arrive in Shadow Quarters just after Jay has recovered her rightful spoils. It seems that the guards reported the problems with the shipment over the Vox, and not to just anyone, but to the Legion's personal agent. Vladium Tukara knew about the shipment from the start and planned to take it for himself, and get rid of Jay if he could. Behold the grubby, underhanded struggle between cold traders, and had it not been for your impromptu deal struck in the bar, Vladium might have succeeded. Number 2. And don't forget to tell him that I'm not mad, but I will be collecting the debt sometime. I wish I could see Vladim's face when he finds out he almost stepped on the toes of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse. Listen, Cece, I'm genuinely sorry about this confusion. Vladim and I have had our difficulties, but I never thought he'd want to clean me out and do away with me in some dark corner. At least, not so soon. If he hadn't agreed to our deal, Shireen, my gang and I would already be floating in orbit around one of Footfall's asteroids. And yes, my shipment contains Xeno artifacts, possessions of which is a death sentence for any commoner. But you, Shireen, do not strike me as a commoner. But if I had told you directly, you would have become, shall we say, complicit. But since those illicit words did not escape my lips, and you would merely be agreeing to help an unfortunate soul, me, to recapture a few containers, my sincerest wish was to protect you from any unnecessary trouble. I swear by the Exalted One, and I do hope that this misunderstanding will not affect our future cooperation. Give you a chance, heretic. You can atone for your deplorable crimes against the Imperium through your service to House von Valancia, so you can die where you stand. Tell me about your business on Footfall. This isn't my first year in the Expanse. It's not my first year in business either. I've sat at a negotiation table with all sorts, not just loot hunters or smugglers either, but the Xenos, ones intelligent enough to believe that mutual benefit was a better outcome of our meeting than mutual destruction. I know that the Ecclesiarchy has to say about that, but speaking from the bottom of my heart, I know the line is between an ordinary deal and a betrayal of humanity, and I never cross it. Lines have a tendency to blur. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know a few guys who couldn't keep their hands to themselves and ended up losing them. I wouldn't be so good at what I did if I didn't know how to assess risk. Besides, the Emperor protects Shireen. It really is true. I've seen it myself time and time again. Those won't bless you and your entire dynasty. I wouldn't say no to marking the occasional properly. Not every day you embark on a brilliant new business adventure. But indeed your wish to let the heretic into your retinue, then allow me to carve a vow of service into her tongue. Let the pain prevent her from uttering words of deceit and remind her of obedience. Don't even think about it, you crazed Casca, unless you want me to add a few bits of lead to the metal adornments on that sulky mug of yours. Sully the Von Valencia's name by inviting people like her into your retinue, Lord Captain. The decision is yours, but do not be surprised if unsavory rumors start to spread on Footfall. It is a strange circle you are forming around yourself. I've heard all about your deeds on Footfall, but I never would have guessed there was an angelic beauty behind all the idle gossip. While we're at it, Shireen, when were you going to reveal your true identity to me? I am infinitely flattered by your attention, but if I had known I was talking to a rogue trader, not an envoy of one, I would have shown some decorum. I wish we could forget decorum entirely in each other's presence. Wow, diving right in there. When I do something as wide and solely is my decision to make, I'm not going to explain my reasons. Anyone. Absolutely, I didn't mean to ruffle your feathers. Either way, I'm entirely willing to join your retinue from now on. My knowledge and expertise are entirely at your disposal. Oh, and one more thing. If you're interested in a rather lucrative offer, one that can give the Von Valencia's protectorate a leg up, I'd say now isn't the time to be thinking about such things. But once we get back to your ship, perhaps you could spare me a minute. Gained a lovely 2 profit factor. She can simply go back to the ship. Well, hey! Finally disappeared. I can go in and loot everybody and all of the goods. A few of those lying around.
My nerves are frayed.
Auto pistol. Always add to cargo. Dynamo boots. Loot. Ah, pair of holsters, yes. The exact item you need to help make Jay a little bit better. Flashbang grenade. The item Kibalo found when she
Oh, yes, they
ran in the room and started brutally murdering everybody. As a Sister of a Death Cult goes and does. Well, there you have it. We, everybody's dead. Right then. I think that's most of my business on Footfall concluded. I definitely need to go speak to Zalige. I need to go speak to Reverend Doloroso. Not Holoroso. Doloroso. Hieronymus Doloroso. And tell him that the cult has disappeared. I'm hoping that gets me some bonuses. I'm hoping having killed the Amvers gets me some bonuses with the Casbalika mission. I will potentially be coming back here to save this quarantine zone, as a good man does. As a good woman does as well, of course. I must not forget I am Cici von Valancius in this playthrough. Bahadur has had his time in the sun and is no longer around. Lucrative opportunity, stray, meet Argento on the ship. Humans still inside the quarantine zone. That's that, on the hunt for knowledge, and coordinate the next steps. Rumors, nothing new. Contracts, no contracts yet available. To the rest of Footfall. We want to go to the atrium. Go and visit ourselves the Shrine of Drusus. I believe is where our next room was. I'll get the other half of potentially the message. And we'll go from there. That shrine, I believe, is this lovely statue we can see on the picture in front of us. Say that, I really do mean potentially, because there are a couple of other shrines in the atrium where it could actually be. And this may not even be a picture of the atrium. No, I think it is. I think that's where we had our funeral. This is the main thoroughfare. The Liege lives up here in his little palace.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue threat.
So discollated would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grime covered in its sprawling legs. Tech use chances 85%. Come on, show me some love. After series of creaks and groans, Codshade's dusty screen lights up, honored to several lines of text. Section heading. Welcome. In the name of the founder of the Footfall Station, conqueror of the stars, builder of the outpost, the noblest rogue trader Parsimus Dwayne, and on behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This Codstage was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus, so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose which you wish to know. Parsimus Dwayne, I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever this Parsimus was, he sure thought big. Lord Captain Parsimus Dwayne, one of the trailblazers of the Cronus Expanse and is this station's founder. I've read about his deeds. Lord Dwayne, once a colonel in the Astra Militarum, but by his will later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Cronus Expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades and Lord Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into the bastion of humanity we know today. One that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parsimus Dwayne as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creators. Or creator. As the year of the Scotch Station's installation, merely a small fraction of the great Parsimus' design has yet to be made a reality. But already the audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Cronus Expanse, a foothold for future conquest by the Imperium and the noble Parsimus Dwayne, who acts by the Emperor's will. Scotch Station wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. Oy. Damn it! The long rest been growing, the cogitator goes quiet for good, apparently. Damn it, that was going to be the other half of our...
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Cash in the... Or maybe it wasn't the cash in the former lantern? Hopefully not. Still, it was definitely a secret, though. I mean, isn't that the... Pick to pass Mr. Wayne... Oh, no, to pass Mr. Wayne, the legendary rogue trader. We still missed out there on something, most definitely. And I didn't see that in my last playthrough either. I should have walked away and gone and gotten Pascal, because I need to get Pascal and bring him back here. There's so many logic and tech use
What lies beyond?
tests to go and basically use. It's ridiculous. So I need to kind of do just a quick run around footfall with Pascal, basically. No, so this is the way we came in. Where's this shrine gone? Where's the shrine gone? Gunsmith's Guild. Exactly where the shrine should be. Oh, down here. Lantern. The heart of footfall is close to the statue of the Emperor carved from the single asteroid. Oh, maybe that's not what I was clicking on. No, my children, the truth is carved into gold of the parchment of something, etc., etc. Goods. Note from the lantern. Cash, you're on the right path, Seeker. Remember the place. Small key, large window. The windows in Dock Alpha Row. Yeah, look out the windows and pray or something. We were kind of told that.
Afraid.
Right, hang on. Let's go to Legion's Palace. We should have probably spoken to Doloroso before we jumped in here. Hieronymus Doloroso, I believe is the... I'm trying to remember his name. Millennium Tokara. Don't mean to hurry you, but I do hope the deal is still in place. The station continues to experience... Yes. Condos in Kibala. Millennium quickly assumes a bored expression. Carefully, without making any sudden movements, he wipes his glasses and, as if absent-mindedly, puts a hand under the table. Found to neutralize the Amber's agitator-in-chief. Gained a bunch of experience. The Ambers again. I presume those anarcho degenerates don't care whom they shoot, be it my servants, yours, or those that employ of House Corda. I suspect this agent wished to negotiate a deal that would have refrained you from hindering Incendia Corda's efforts to strangle us with the threat of hunger and demand our obedience. If so, I don't believe I will be mourning the man's passing very long. There's only one person who stood to gain from this murder. Suggesting that those outlaws were acting on my orders, then I vociferously deny anything of the sort, whatever that means. However, if you are merely alluding to the possibility that someone who cares about Footfall's fate could have started a rumor on the lower levels that Corda's agents were looking to assert their authority on Footfall, well, then your suspicions are entirely logical, as was the man's inevitable death at the hands of the Anvers. Why is there a quarantine? Oh, that, who knows? It could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the two families that started it all just came down with food poisoning at the same time. On a space station, the best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. I wish to help people in the quarantine zone. I will have medicine delivered to them from my ship. Can't bar you from doing so, but I can't help but note that it's not the wisest course of action. With all due respect, your ladyship. Let's get down to business. I didn't gain any reputation. The journal. Can't go to the journal. To the journal. Hint mentions small key and large windows. Help has been sent to the residents of the sealed off area. Okay. Other matches demand my attention. Yeah, I don't know how I continue that. Maybe I have to go back to the quarantine area.
My wake.
We've got Dock Alpha Row. Let's go look at a window. Also got some refugees waiting for me here. And I'd like to kind of go back to the ship and maybe grab Pascal. But on the other hand, I don't want to go back to the ship and have a really long conversation just to grab Pascal. But that may just be how it has to go. So I don't think having him in the party is really going to be that detrimental just to run around. There's not really anything left to do on footfall. And I can go ahead and grab all of the things I've gone and missed. Now, windows. No, chapel. Not quite what I was after. Windows. Note from the cache by the dock windows. The answer is close, seeker. Remember the word. Realizing. Remember the place. A tunnel in the shadow of a bridge. A bridge in the shadow of the great statue. Currently under quarantine due to possible outbreak of disease. Referring to the shadow quarters. Alright, we'll get in there.
this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Guard, voidsman, worker, not my shuttle. Heinrichs, calm yourself. Lord Captain. On an interrogator, what a surprise. Did you perchance leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Wessarian. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but I thank you for your concern. What do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? Only to our mutual duty to humanity, and it is that duty that demands that I disturb your peace once more. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rykad Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds, this time yours, Lord Captain. By the order of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Cronus Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Valancius is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds, great and small, that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar. All I got from that is riddling ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. What exactly causes need to rejoin my crew? The cause is the activity of humanity's enemy, including the cult of the Final Dawn. My absence, the situation in the Cronus Expanse has changed. I've received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the von Valancius worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better talk on board, where we will not be overheard. Sure, I would be honored. Watch aboard the rogue trade ship once more, then such is the Emperor's will. Welcome back, Interrogator. We'll be traveling one of the blessed Adepta Sororitas. Master von Kalek, since you are with us once more, I do hope you'll find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Bronhalla the Blessed. I'll make every effort. Items received. Letter from Lord Calcazar. Xavier Calcazar. Lord Inquisitor specified the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have the time. There's everything from the time being. Are you headed to the ship, or do you still have business on footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. We click accept. Go back to the Void Ship Bridge. Hopefully we don't have to have a full conversation, as there are people awaiting us to basically have a full conversation and decide what comes next. Just going to grab Pascal, basically. Nope, full conversation time. Let's decide what comes next. Alright then. Keebler just stood off to one side. And stabbing herself. I also don't see Jay Hadari here. Or... nope, there's Heinrichs. Lord Captain, the inspection of the ship's systems is complete. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel. that there's an issue you must be made aware of. I've been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to double-check the route to Dargonus and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the Atlas one after the other and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Warp stones are our enemies, just like heretics and demons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or bolter. Now we can be certain that the problems with the astropathic communication in the Chronos Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the key worlds of the Von Valancius Protectorate as soon as possible. Talking about Janus, Dargonus, and Kiava Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control would be the necessary next step. What would the consequence of losing contact with these worlds be? A world deprived of connection to its neighboring systems and the Chronos Expanse's infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, Xenos, anyone could prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them is one that grows weaker by the day. Boxmaster is entirely correct. You are rogue trader Cici von Valancius, the successor to Theodora von Valancius, one of the most influential women this side of the Moor. But you are also new to the business of governing. Many will doubt your competence and try to carve up your protectorate so they could search a peace for themselves. It is important to show your potential allies and foes that you are in control of the situation, which is why the sooner we claim these lost worlds, the better. If Flacius decide that your worlds are easy prey, that is good. We will find enough enemies in your domain then, and we will kill them. The Undying One will look upon us with approval. Let's just quickly go through this. Tell me about Janus. Was altered extensively so it can be an agri-world and is under House Viat. What about Kiava Gamma? Industrial world, Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum. Is a world marked by the Omnicized patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Yes. Mentioned that the Kiava Gamma Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Needs to be of service. What do I need to know about Dargonus? It's the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is the capital world of Maya Administratorum. My officers, any of which should require immediate attention. That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and the crew await your instructions and are ready to part footfall immediately should you so desire. Okay, so we're not going to have any of the other deep and burning conversations we need to have. I'm simply going to quickly jump back onto footfall with Pascal. I'm going to quickly level him up so I can potentially... Once we are once more within reach of the Von Valancius Protectorate of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards. Developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. All this is now your privilege and burden. Why, thanks. Thanks so much. Footfall. I'm literally just going to start at the beginning. And I'm going to take out Abelard and put in Pascal and click accept. Definitely want to keep Kibula. I was thinking of potentially taking her out, but I want her medicine skill because I'm about to go to a quarantine zone. Losing Abelard, I will lose athletics, basically. Oh, and I suppose... I want to say Carouse. Joel. Something. Maybe not Carouse. Maybe it was Carouse. I don't know, one of the skills. It came off toughness. Yes, Carouse, not coercion. Right, yes, Carouse. Click to view archetype. Operative to... No, I need to pick another one. I don't know. The thing with... I tried to make him a little bit melee last time. No, actually, I went ranged, but he kind of sucked. Yeah, he didn't really do good as a ranged character. As an assassin, I could do damage, dodge, and dodge reduction. He's not a dodge person, though. Damage over time effects, melee damage, negative effects, crowd control, large number of wounds. He's probably not going to have a large number of wounds. Well, this makes things a little bit difficult, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, he's not a dodger. He's not a dodger. He's a big, heavy guy. So you know what? I think... What's really? Do you know what? No, we'll go assassin. Why not? Next. Makes an attack that does not count towards the limit of attacks per turn. Assassin grants 40% dodge to the target of this attack. If this attack hits, it deals an additional 9 damage. Damage increased by twice the percentage of that target's missing wounds. Right line for up to 2 cells, suffering -6 damage from attacks of opportunity and gaining 6% dodge. Yeah, see, but kind of... Assassin's target makes enemy suffers -6% armor modifier deflection until the end of the assassin's turn. Sure. Go for that. If we... Down here, because I really only want to use him so much for... Let's actually go... Let's take some extra intelligence. Okay, done. Tech use and logic are nice and high. Let's go to my inventory. And... What have I potentially got that might do him well? Oh, we were gonna... Plasma pistols. Always add to cargo. You guys can disappear now. Use damage from my grenades. 20 bonus to coercion, -5 penalty to awareness. Probably 1 points by +3, sure. So I might actually want to put these on Heinrich's, to be honest. So if it doesn't actually boost his stats that I'm actually looking at right now, and we'll probably just ignore it, to be honest. So what I want to do is on 2-2 to my right, the other left.
Ah, one step at a time amidst the madness.
Wait, back here somewhere. All right, this is just the one where I need to find out what the code is. Who knows, I may just end up doing... There's no more cargo in here, right, so we don't need to be in the docks. Let us go... Martyr's Endurance, that's the bar. I think there possibly was something in the bar. Let's just jump to the Shadow Quarters for now. We can obviously run around everywhere else afterwards. Let's jump straight to the Shadow Quarter and continue what we're doing. We can also clear this place out. And yeah, grab the rest of the all the tech and logic use stuff. All those locked little doors. That servitor. Oh, that servitor that's gone and blown itself up. I should have let it rest. I should have let it rest. I knew I was going to do this. So
what lies beyond?
Should have simply let it rest. Okay. Ah, wait, so that's going to be down there, that piece of loot. Down there, down there, down there. Really? You're telling me there's... This is really weird. Like, there should be... That's a dark hideout. I feel like it's not telling me where the loot is. I feel like I'm going to have to do this the hard way. Because there was definitely gates and the such for me to go and open in places.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
There was definitely tech use and logic use things lying everywhere. Yeah, loot boxes, the works. Yet nothing seems to be showing up. Basically. It's interesting. That's a dark hideout. Definitely things going on.
They will see. Oh, yes. They all will see.
Wish to enter the quarantine zone. No, that's not going to happen. We're letting no one in. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So there is technically a way in. If I can get this working again. Activate the elevator. That comes out from down here. Yep, I don't think that's going to happen from where we are. Pyramid was lost due to possible outbreak of disease. Help has been sent to the residents of the sealed off area. Wait for the situation to resolve itself. Okay, I'm not going to the area myself. I didn't realize that's what I went and chose. Once again, though, there was definitely doors and stuff for me to open.
No peace in my wake.
Maybe it's all on the atrium. I guess in that case. Well, we can't go into the Shadow Quarter, which is where my quests point me to for my loot and what else have you. I will, I guess I'll attempt to get in there when... So hang on, let's go to the atrium. I guess I'll attempt to get in there because I will have to come back for Opticon 22's data when I present to him 10 out of 10 scanned planets. So I guess I will go ahead and do that and then maybe come back to the Shadow Quarter and see what is awaiting me. By the looks of it, yes, I will need some logic, some medicine. And yeah, we'll go from there. Go from there. Okay, now here there was definitely some doors and such. Pascal, tech use.
Operation
That. Good. Pascal.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
There's a gate. Logic, Pascal.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
It is an irrefutable certainty. That's why I brought you here. Oh, pair of boots. What did we get? All allies in a 2-star radius around the wearer gain 40% bonus to resolve from the unyielding built ability instead of the original bonus. And then that's got him there. There was definitely something over here. Have a quick scan.
The rogue threat.
Ah, getting up into here. Here it is. Use the cogitator.
Operation successful.
And up we go. There should definitely be... Oh, we've got to jump over. Oh, I haven't got my athletics guy. This could fail.
Another notch.
Nice. Then we found some secret goods. Got a lovely greatsword and a commander's monocle. Whenever an ally under the effect of the wearer's voice of command ability makes an attack during an extra turn, this attack deals an additional 9% damage. Push that over so we don't have to jump back. Oh no, I lied. A body fell out.
Genius.
Awareness.
Triumphs.
Indicate this was particularly brutal murder. Letters A and V are carved into the victim's shoulder blade. Okay. I assume, yes, getting back is always easier anyway.
Oh, what lies beyond?
Okay. And... Oh, I didn't actually speak to Doloroso, did I? I need to actually do that as well whilst I'm here. Doloroso, sorry. Ronimus Doloroso. Your request has been fulfilled. The cult stand in the Shadow Quarters has been cleared out. There you go. A whole 200 reputation. Hope their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. Only 200 reputation. That's kind of sucky. like, really sucky. Never mind.
Patience.
Alright then, let's boogie on out of here. For the rest of Footfall. Then we have to go to, yes, can't go to the Shadow's quarters. We want to go to Void Duck Alpha Row. Then jump onto our ship and actually boogie on away. I wonder if there was a way to get into the quarantine zone. Unless I just misread an option. Then, well, given medicine was Iconoclast, so I probably did miss an option that simply said I'm going in there, get out of my way. Because I wanted to be Iconoclast. So I can keep that going up, because we are going to try and get that to level 5. We're going to try and boost that all of the way. Personal pilot, Engineer, crew member. To the Void Ship Bridge. So, we probably got a few conversations to have, unfortunately. In fact, we do have a few conversations to have. I think we need to speak to Jay. I think we need to speak to Argenta. We need to speak to Heinrichs. Half our retinue. But yeah, so no, I won't be using Jay to actually in my retinue, so to say. I will simply be how long have you served in the Inquisition? I want to discuss the Final Dawn. What can you tell me about it? What do you do as a psyker? Take care of Idira. Rid me of her. No! I want you to leave my retinue and my ship. I want you to discuss the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here.
And up to my quarters we go. I feel like everyone always gives me like a 2-minute head start so I can get in and sit down. So they can then just walk in. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for the return on board my ship. I welcome the chance. Enthusiasm is commendable. Got the Final Dawn, the madmen preach their heretical doctrine amongst the denizens of the Chronos Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Investigate a chaos cult. This is why, basically, as you can see, Law of Imperium 110 basically helps with all of these little skill checks and in the kind of story moment skill checks, you know, when the big old storybook opens up. You are well-versed now the Inquisition is organized. Yes, initially our arrival in the Chronos Expanse was directed by a need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. You laying an accusation against my dynasty. Chaos treads softly, CC. The main danger of the secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny. Then an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult in one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head herself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself, and then, perhaps you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. I do want to try and use him as a character, but right now I also want to shoot him in the face. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter he was willing to show leniency towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. That's correct, I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised the Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. We have spies. The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the Administratum Department on Dargonus. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Chronos Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Dargonus, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I'm sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words at least occasionally. Chaos Warpagers, most often agents of the throne, run into lone renegades stirring up the rebel. Insane prophets and historical visionaries preaching the end of days, a passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort in the blood of these little golden throne was spent when we established connection between those heretics. However, the cult of Fallen Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They want to basically end everything. The growing difficulty in making walk jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. So they have it at a disadvantage. The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I'll be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. You have proposed to destroy an entire planet. You made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy. An unreasonable and unforgettable high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. But I make every effort to make sure that such an exchange does not happen again. Of course I will. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. Do not believe you lack compassion. Deep down I understand why you acted that way. I have yet to eliminate the understanding and acceptance within myself, but I will. You once promised to contain me with compelling conversation. For the time being, however, I would prefer to focus on my direct responsibilities, perhaps later after Kiava Gamma. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. End of conversation. Right, now let's go. I'd love it if you actually had a call button. Because now I'm basically going to go and grab Argenta, and we're going to come back here. Then, I'm probably going to grab Jay, and we're going to come back here. So Argenta hides down here. Where's she gone? Where's she gone? There she is.
Greetings.
Past explaining strange things on
Yes,
footfall.
I'm ready.
I'd like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself.
If I may, I would like...
Let us go, and she can pray in front of the warrant of trade. Now, let us have our difficult conversation in front of this holy relic. Thou see the floor of me, smite me if thou knowest the fall of mine, burn me with the flames of fury and righteousness. Oh. The poem continues. Rogue trader, we need to talk, or rather I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valentius's ship and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. When arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest. For a world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Continue. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness, and the Order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers could not touch Ardenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the true righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I, myself named after the saint, came across this information. I realized that at that moment that it was important. I must journey to the planet and find the ship. Sure, he could have helped. Couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. Your actions were driven by hubris, Argenta, as if you wanted to keep the discovery all to yourself. You got yourself killed on the planet, no one would have learned about its existence, and the holy relic would have been lost. The actions were driven by hubris. You suspect me of unworthy urges, but I will accept this reproach and try my best to think on it. The sisters know the meaning of humility. You mentioned something called the One Star. I got so carried away, forgot to explain. The One Star is a relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one can even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography at times calls it a banner, or a set of armor, or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain. It was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost, excuse me, with Argenta's death. What happened next? Defeat. Ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know Saint Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues. The descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennial-old tales, and I was certain that I had found a way to the ship. And that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall, something about ways, doors, please, addressed to someone, Lord, the edge of daybreak. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists that attacked us on Salis Prime. Everybody died. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on footfall, the cultists on Salis Prime, they attacked. What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valencia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my surge? No need to blame yourself. I doubt it. No one except me was that particularly interested in the planet. Conrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped me arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important. That's why you didn't trust me before. Yes, Rogue Trader, I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the arch enemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. So I assume if I became heretical, she wouldn't tell me any of this. So just to clarify, you're wounded, so you never found Saint Argenta's ship. Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insisted on going back to Salis Prime to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. Will you help me find this great relic? If it's important to you, I will help. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, an embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow not to relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. May light be with us both on this path. Alright then, hey, and back to our void ship bridge. Now let's have a deep and meaningful conversation with Jay Hadari. Potentially over Amasek. I think that's how most of her conversations are generally undertaken. Along with, I've probably got so many people I need to have conversations with right now. But, you know, let's kind of go one step at a time, sort of a thing. This game's only, and I mean slight downfall, because it's a great game, it's very text heavy. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Has the Vox brought you anything interesting lately? I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. You know, you're just proving useless and useless as we go forward. Let's turn on this. Lord Captain, machine spirit of the mechanism slumbers. Should you wish to awaken it, use the key of your blood. Place your hand inside to serve as more. Sacred mechanism awake and ready to receive your request, Lord Captain. Another word, tech priest turns cogitate, he raises his hands, and a prayer binary code pours out from his Vox device. Find the hidden cache on Dargonus. Machine Spirit has discovered numerical critical areas. The data is damaged. Registering an intact segment, the Machine Spirit has spoken. The worlds of Kiavagama and Dargonus hold certain data repositories. The mechanism is ready to provide the rogue trader with data keys that can unlock said repositories. How do I accept these keys? It is willing to transfer the data keys to the House of Omvalentius by means of an electo, a hypodermic tattoo augment. Place your hand inside the servitor's mouth. Need to know more about the caches. The Messiah favors you. The Machine Spirit is willing to commence the calculation procedure, and that could restore the lost data. Okay. The data has been restored, but it is only a single phrase. Litanies of the motive force. That is all the sacred mechanism was able to salvage. Blessed no Messiah's deeds. The repository on Kavagama has a security system guarding it. The Machine Spirit has recovered a code that will allow you to disable the defenses. I have other questions. NC Prime spent hours pursuing the quest for knowledge in hopes of comprehending the nature of said miracle, but the Son of Grace guide him on his journey. So I assume I got the codes? Yes, I did. Those would be secrets of the cult. Lucrative opportunity. Anything from you? Nope, that is all for now. Proud to serve. Glad to hear it. We won't go to High Fact Totem just yet. Idara, anything new from you? Somewhere on Dargonus Kavagama, do you know anything about this?
Me?
Me? Not a clue.
Not a clue, Lord Captain. I don't know who Lady Theodora would have told about a thing like that, but it definitely wasn't me. What? Lord Captain, I don't know anything about caches or Lady Theodora's secrets, but the voices have just reminded me about something. I was once given the chance to try some real wine. Lady Theodora gave me some. Not just any old synthetic booze, but her favorite plonk. She always drank it in her palace. It was golden in color, and its name was Flame of Purity.
Nice.
A silly name. Of course.
We've learned some information. How about Kibula? You got anything else for me?
Dumb it.
Take my leave.
Maybe.
Nothing new. Okay, things are going on in fanciful ways back here. Oh, here's Jay.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Was some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Sherin, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me...
And back to my area. We go, and again, like I said, see, they kind of, you know, it gives me a 2-minute head start, so I can go and sit behind my desk, and then they come wandering on up. Shireen, the exalted one himself, brought us together the day you crossed Millennium's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. You know what people on my world say when such a thing happens. What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. I received a Wanderer's Portent, branded ranged Eldari weapon, and a Bloodseeker's Glaive, a Yukari weapon. Glaive's area attack has an increased area of effect. Most warriors prefer swords for they provide more flexible on the battlefield against close combat enemies. It's two-handed. I'm sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept the humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck friendship. Really wonderful gift. I know you would appreciate the Xenos mastery of their craft. So, the matter I want to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well, my network runs even without my participation. When it comes to expansion, well, that is where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Falco especially. I'm certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict that that Ashmag will do next. While the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the Expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. You were slightly less useful to me, I would have brought you to justice myself. Go on. If the rogue trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag schemes far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. And the best part of all is that this will cost you precisely nothing. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informers tell me that the palace is located on Dargonish, your capital world. See how everything is aligned so wonderfully, and of course, I will repay you in kind. How do I benefit? Besides being in receipt of my internal gratitude, won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them rather than just another pawn? One slip of paper and I will be able to extend my network to systems far beyond footfall. My agents will be your eyes and ears throughout the Expanse. You really think I care one jot about the travails of Casabalic and scum? Sure, sounds simple enough, I will help. I couldn't find a better business partner in all the Expanse. Friendship is a gift from the Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you have no complaints about our friendship. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some factions in mind you would like to establish relations with. You merely need to use the right words, like a key or a lock, and people often open their hearts to you. Or their wallets. Oh, damn it, I don't know who I want to have closer ties with at this point. I'm pretty sure the Drusians and the Adeptus are two of them. Which ones would I find easiest? Which ones would I find hardest? You know, those are the other questions. I mean, I do not need your help in such matters. Why wouldn't you take this up? Can you attempt to take it up later? I don't know. Well, I'm not going to risk losing it. And I'm simply going to go for now. I'm actually going to say the Drusians. Because they had levels like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I can't remember the rest, because some of them don't start till level 5. I will humbly await till you steal your vessel towards Dargonus, the Mercantum Tabula Officiali. Okay. And back down we go. Talk to the Master of Seals. By that we mean seals on piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen, not the ones in the ocean. Although that would be an amazing person to meet. Nope, I don't want to go this way. Let's come back this way. Let's continue our conversation with Jay.
May the Exalted One protect you.
You don't look like a typical smuggler.
No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some
Also the Lord of
small-time peddlers
Efreet.
from Footfall. The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches, I convinced my father I personally wished to oversee the inspection of imported goods. I had to get experience so I wouldn't bring shame on our family, didn't I? I made friends with traders, missionaries, and soldiers at the port. I listened to their stories, studied the chart. Consider it a mark of my trade. This year, Xenos. Dumb-headed orcs. Who knew that we weren't the only ones to get tempted by the wreck of that raider? As for this treasure, I received it as a reward for a life that had been just a little too good. I was in a hurry to get to the Adeptus Amazacus after the Exalted One blessed me with immense wealth. I was 2 backstreets away. I learned my lesson and started taking the longer way around. Except I haven't had any big windfalls since.
You choose to come to Cronus
The
Expanse.
Cronus Expanse. A gorgeous name, isn't it? But this backwater wasn't my original destination when I escaped Sherin. Oh no, it was the rumors of incredible freedom that...
Thank you for sharing.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Tell me about its dark side.
The dark side is the real Cronus Expanse. Dynasties drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica. And dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis. Every third person on Footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than...
Gum, rotten filth, rats. It is almost as if Jay's mask briefly slipped and she started using words that have no place in the vocabulary of someone from the upper strata of the Imperium. One of the Casbalicans, robber barons.
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Sherin. I will let you know once I become a baroness. It's not hard to do on Footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs, and then took over his business. Having a good head on your... It really is simple, Sherin. The Casbalica runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, unlike the rogue traders
Certain
whose
kinds of
sacred
living
warrants
creatures, you
make
say?
them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Casbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. No, but why not? The decision is yours, Sherin.
Did you know Theodore von
It is
Valentius?
difficult not to be aware of the powers that be, especially ones like Lord Captain Theodora. But we never met personally, as the difference between our positions was far too
Using
great.
words I don't understand.
The language on Ifrit, my home world, is quite different from the one spoken in the Cronus Expanse. We bestow more than one meaning upon each word. Take Agi, for example. That is what I call every piece of scum and villain, because Agi means evil and foe and pathetic worm unworthy of consideration. Or take Ashman. It means fool and little brother, and blind man who stumbles and would fall into a pit without guts.
Tell me about your business.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people. Having the right connections and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum in the... You're fun to talk. I grew tired of scribing endless contracts and agreements neatly tucked away on Footfall. I did that for...
Jay speaks measuredly with just the right amount of laziness in her voice, but her performance cannot conceal the slight tremble in her voice. Whether Jay is afraid of what... That is what drove her off Footfall. But your gang that stayed back at Footfall.
Do I trust the Trickster twins? By the Exalted One, no. The underhanded rogues of Footfall came up with that name for a reason. On the other hand, this is why I am keeping them close. Kor and Tora know who lifted them out of the cesspit proudly called the Shadow Quarters, and who has been feeding that ravenous beast their insatiable lust for lucre. No, they are not going to betray me if only because they know I am now a part of your entourage, Sherin. They're not going to let the biggest pie in the Imperium pass them by without trying to get us... I think we've said all there is to say on this topic.
Not all of these stories are true.
Listen, Sherin, the giver of happiness and the dearest of my friends. I am who I am. A cold trader, a Casbalican agent, and your partner. We each have a past, and that past is sealed. All relationships are...
See you later. Pascal, if you learn anything about my ship, nothing new from you. Lord Heinrichs.
To what do I owe this visit?
I know nothing about you. Could you tell me a little more about yourself?
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of those around me, not the reverse.
The night world.
I come from a night world, Guizorn 3. I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses until my exceptional abilities were discovered.
You remember your home planet?
I do, but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn 3 when I was still a child. Like many psychers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response.
Wow.
My great-aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out. And when my great-aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her. I don't consider raw emotions to be a necessity in everyday communication. But let me assure you that I am more than capable of anger. Fortunately for others, I learned
Tell me about the black ship.
Picture a vast prison ship, filled with frightened, angry psychers who can't control their abilities and who have just lost their homes and their families. Once, when one of the miscreants broke free, those in command simply depressurized the bay and got rid of the culprit, along with the prisoners and crew tainted by him.
We sent to the Inquisition straight after training.
No. First, I was accorded the status of a psyker fit for service in the Imperial Guard, where I then spent several years. It was only afterward that I became an agent.
How long have you served in the Inquisition?
Since the day of my initiation as an acolyte. So, decades. How many real years it's been, it's hard to say. When I return from a journey through the warp, I often discover that much more or much less time has passed in real space.
Many
Indeed.
worlds.
I have visited many of the places brought to the Emperor's light, and those sullied by the filth of the archenemy. In truth, even
What duties
after
have you been carrying out?
You can't really be expecting me to answer that question, can you?
Certainly look young.
The first step for biomancers such as myself is to take control of the processes of their own body, including aging. I've endured innumerable hazards in my... Gladly.
He is his own cosmeticist. You're not the Inquisitor's only acolyte, correct?
Of course not. The Lord Inquisitor's entourage comprises dozens of people. To be honest, I'm not even certain that the people I know are still alive. I used to work with other acolytes of the Lord Inquisitor, but in the Coronis Expanse, I have been working alone. I had never even considered such a thing before you asked. Perhaps I do. Sometimes.
Such criminal neglect of your needs.
Your concern for my needs, Lord Captain,
Let's make him blush.
is extremely unexpected. Would you like to remedy my deficit of personal interaction? I would not be opposed to a pleasant conversation, if you can find
That mean
the
you hold a
time.
special position in the retinue?
We are not a retinue. We are acolytes. As for your question, I am closer than anyone else to the one I call my personal teacher.
Are there other acolytes? That you'll not be getting an answer.
Such as?
What can you tell me
The
about
cult's
it?
ordinary members are humans who have been corrupted by the archenemy. As for those at the top of the cult's hierarchy, we have not yet managed to get a lead on all of the cult's leaders.
Action from above?
Governors, commanders,
Oh,
rogue traders.
so not literally
History is full
from
of
above.
those who neglect their duty to the... We discovered the first traces of it as soon as we arrived in the Coronis Expanse. Since then, the more we learn, the better we see. Just, I need to confirm the reports from my agents.
You'd go to
According to
Gamma.
them, as you wish.
Take my leave. Lightly inclines his head in response.
Lord Captain,
Cash is left by Theodore somewhere under Gunner's carrier. Do you know anything about this?
it is wise for a rogue trader to have caches where they can safely store important information. I'm afraid I do not know how to find the caches, but I can offer some help. Your predecessor used this numeric code to deactivate certain defense systems in her service. If
Code
I
will
know
be
later-
useful to you. That's I've checked Idira. I wonder. Well, no, people like him probably won't because they were all uplifted. Maybe the Master Helmsman. Now I must take my leave. I don't think Argenta. She wasn't really around
Lord
for that
Captain,
long.
Your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our
Better tell me more about yourself
such
now.
Such is the rogue trader's wish, although there isn't much I can tell.
You hail from?
Now that I can tell you. I come from everywhere. My memory is like wafts of smoke over a still battlefield.
She was born on the battlefield, she will die on the battlefield, she will kill every damn
and of
heretic
my
she
former
can.
life, before the Skull of Progenium and the Novitiate.
Golden shard you carry with you.
My own relic. It's the regiment's Aquila. Or rather, the fragment that survived the attack, the explosions, and the become. It's such a strange word for it. It seems right, but is that how one talks about their destiny? If you're asking about the path itself, that's easy. I was one of the best among my peers, and I was selected for the novitiate in the ranks of the Adeptus Sororitas. When the hour came, I passed the trials and took my vow. Have I ever... But that would be shameful weakness, almost heresy. I was chosen to serve. But beyond that, it
Your
is
answers.
my pleasure to be candid. Of course, my mission is all I can think about.
Sorry about Saint Argenta.
Gladly. Listen. But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had... Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die, and the garden she'd grown up in burned to ash. But in her heart, she knew the one star. The bright star. The silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the one star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the
Good the story, that was Saint Argenta.
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography.
Who only knew?
It is known that she lived on a world where heretics staged After that, she traveled between worlds gripped by turmoil on her ship, marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the silver star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records.
What is our mission?
To find the way to the planet called...
What is this one
If
star?
I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that... Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests
Some think
that
it's
this
the actual
armor
ship. That would be awesome.
I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the ecclesiarchy for millennia. One day we will reach Salis Prime.
Thank you for this conversation. And Cass.
Words cannot describe. I have enjoyed.
Got our firefighter down there. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be much else going on. We seem to have battled our way through our conversations. One last thing we're going to do. Order the shipping and transportation of some goods. We now have access to this wonderful screen. We're going to go ahead and look at this a little bit more. So Opticon 2-2, we do now have... Oh no, I lied. He only has 5 levels. Must be Dark... Wait. Hang on. Jurgen's manual. Go and grab that. Let's close out this one. Oh no, yes, it was Drusius we grabbed. I don't know why I've got... I know I've got 5,000 with them because I went and... but that didn't even get me level 1. Well, that's a bit of a shame. And then if we come out of here, because for instance, if I remember the Casablanca mission... Oh, this does have levels as well. Wow, we can't... Look at the cost of these things. That's a lot of... high cost. 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. We have pretty high reputational numbers for those. And our Chartist Captain. Now, I haven't grabbed these because we, in fact, already pretty much own them all, I think. Short-range prow, macro cannons, 4 shots, 14 damage. No, we're going to keep what we've got in terms of that. 4 plasma, 19 warheads. Yes. Jovian Class 1 drive, didn't want that. And Mazor Lance weapon we already own as well. Okay. So that is all of that. So Opticon 2-2, unfortunately, no, we don't really get much. Got a little bit. Now we can start looking at reputation. Now, I know for a fact that the things that come up for the Imperial Navy don't come up for anybody else. So that's fine. Fellowship of the Void. Heretic stuff and jewelry. So there's that. Who else takes? I think the Drusians take holy gifts and jewelry. So not Heretic or Xenos. But then, so Casablanca mission, surely. Heretic trophies, Xeno and jewelry. So Heretic, Xeno and jewelry. And Heretic, Xeno and jewelry. So they are in fact identical. So they'd both be extremely difficult to get good reputation with both of those. Opticon 2-2. Holy Heretic, Ship Components, Mechanicus Creations. Yeah, so I mean, again, Holy Gifts are between them and Drusian's Heretic Trophies. There you go, you've got a 3-way spread. Ship Components and Mechanicus Creations. I assume they probably all would have taken... Nope, this guy won't. Mechanicus Creations they'll take. They'll take Ship Components. So, I mean, there is obviously a crossover. You have to really choose who you want to give things to. I'll have a good look at that at some point, but let's not worry about it too much for now. This manual grants the owner +6 to Medicae, also grants toughness bonus MP after using a Medikit. You have a slot open, you don't, and I don't blame you. Can't use bad person's weapons. Under the effect of Voice of Command. Attack during an extra turn. This attack deals an additional 9 damage. I mean, everyone's pretty much got some kind of binocular. Ballard. We were going to give you a 2-handed weapon. Yeah, let's give you a greatsword. Go and switch that around. Malaria gain 40% bonus to resolve from the unused Bilkin ability. Yeah, we're not really going to be going to use that. Let's go and give you that because you're the only one that's really going to be using it. Increases the wearer's movement points by 3. In fact, yeah, let's come to this guy. This good. In fact, hang on. Let's just because I know it's there. Here, our very last person. You can wear a hood. Grants willpower bonus to Law of the Warp, which is a nice 7. This, when the wearer uses a psychic power attack, they restore 2 AP or take 10 warp damage with 50% chance for each of those effects. Ooh, that is dangerous. Oh, I think I'm going to leave it at what I've got on, to be honest. Let's come back and let's have a look at a few of our items. Condolences, effect would have it. You've taken the reins of the Von Valencia. Sorry, greet you for dependable ally. Blah, blah, blah. Face to success. Your partnership and thank you for your contribution. Not that I have any choice whatsoever. Increase your movement points by a lovely 3. Now, potentially on Abelard. Heinrichs. Give you a lovely +3 for now. Grants the wearer 10% parry reduction and 5% armor penetration for melee attacks. That's better than what you've currently got equipped. Master crafted power maul. I'd rather keep a force weapon, to be honest. The rated greatsword. Is that actually better than what I've gone and equipped? 1 stack of the laceration effect. It actually is. Let's go and get that lacerating sword up and done. Just dodge by 70% for 1 round. I can actually see me using that on him because he parries everything, so 15 to strength, 15 to weapon skill, but -20 to willpower for 2 turns. Potentially again. That one coming into effect. Attacks only ranged weapon at a 1 cell range. That inflicts also attacks bleeding. Probably not. Wearer raises momentum to 175 whenever they kill 5 enemies in a row in 1 turn. Now, this could very much be happening here. Single attack. The attack does not spend all of the wearer's MP. Let's go for the momentum shift. Foe hammer. Riser pattern foe hammer. That is a nice little increase. You know what? We're going to go and give you the stabby point blank range weapon. Just, hey, you never know. An Anva chainsword. I mean, yeah, we could do with a better force sword. For sure. Thunder hammer. We're going to go and add that to cargo. Sorry, with that point. The great sword. Go to cargo as well. Wearer and their allies are immune to damage from the wearer's grenades. Now, we haven't really made anyone a grenadier, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Medium armor, 30%. Who else wears? You're going to be in... Whoops. You're going to be in light armor, aren't you? Yes, armored body glove. Oh, we could do with... improved armored body glove. Glad I got a couple of those lying around. Does this come off at the top? Yep, armored body glove, cargo. Noble sword, you can now go to cargo. Bow hammer, alpha cargo. On the other hand, right, yep, so you won't needing a shotgun of any kind. You have the big scary one, the shredder. Yes, you do. Let's cross. Have a normal shotgun. You can go and get the improved version. Where did we go? There he is. Combat shotgun. And rated mono knife. You can go to cargo. Dead shot stub revolver. Can I'm pretty sure simply disappear now. Medium flak armor, 35%. Sure, you can disappear now as well. Shotguns, you can disappear. God, auto pistol, you can definitely disappear. Spinner's blade can probably disappear as well, to be honest. Fading valor. Just want to keep it for sentimentality reasons, so really, don't you? You can get a mind twitch. No, wait. Let's go for someone more like Gento can get the mind twitch grenade. And whoever kills 2 or more enemies with a single attack, it can still use MP. And if the wearer does damage, where did those boots go? That's getting 2 MP. Hey, that's a good bit of wearing flak armor. Heinrich, we know, is wearing a better bit of armor as well. Cool. So we don't need that piece of feather armor. Immune to the wearer's grenades, like I said, I don't think so. I mean, it's not like I'm throwing out, you know, grenades left, right, and center. A little bit more controlled than that. Okay, I think... When I said, yeah, I should probably upgrade his foresword, but I want to keep him with a foresword because it is... He does kind of get bonuses from that weapon. Toughness bonus MP after using a medikit. You may as well actually hold on to that for now. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay. So we have gone and grabbed our extras. We have gone and equipped our characters. I still need to do some leveling up, but we are going to do that next episode, ladies and gentlemen, because that is all we have time for in this episode. We have finished with Footfall. We're done. We're ready to move on. And so we are about to dive out into the rest of the Coronis Expanse and start venturing through various warp paths. And so until next time, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you all very much for joining me. Secondly, I hope you will join us once again as we continue our journey through the Coronis Expanse. And finally, and as per always, until we see you again, whenever that may be, I hope that you all stay safe